In this video, I want to go about fixing a fundamental flaw, well, not really a fundamental flaw, but a big navigation flaw in our zombies that we have not experienced due to lack of just general testing, but I have talked about it a little bit in the past. So we're going to be focusing on that as well as some collision related stuff in this video. So starting with the big one, let's just view the nav mesh. So because you can see we have the nav mesh going through the barricades, as in, there's no break between navigation. That means the zombies can freely walk through these because there is no collision and nothing blocking the navigation mesh. So let's pretend that, and let's say we have our players and they're down here in this corner. Now, let's pretend we are a zombie. We break down the boards, enter the barricade, and the correct route would be moving something kind of along, this line or this path to get to the players. However, because our navigation mesh is blending between the barricades, the actual path would look more like this. They'd go through, they enter the barricade, they would then turn, go through the barricade. They would either come through this barricade and down the stairs, or they would go down the stairs and just go through this barricade. And that's a problem. So we're going to go ahead and address that, well, pretty much in a minute or so. So the next issue is just general collisions. So a lot of our collision presets were done before we actually made the dedicated zombie pawn. So for example, let's head down here to the barricade pawn blocker. So that one's fine. And let's check the board. And we can see the board for the barricade is set to block the zombie pawn. Let's just make that ignore. Player and interaction blocker. Same thing. Let's make that ignore the board and the zombie pawn. Let's check the debris. Debris, everything seems okay. And the wall weapon, same thing. Make it ignore the barricade board and zombie pawn. So let's go ahead and save all and take a quick peek at some of the other things. So to begin, let's look at the boards just to make sure they're using board, they're ignoring, that's good. Let's look at the box that is blocking the zombie pawn. So we want to go ahead and correct that. So let's go to the base class, which would be BP underscore barricade. Select our box, go down to collisions, and make it ignore the zombie pawn. Next up, let's check the box block player. And that one seems to be good to go. It's ignoring the zombie pawn, which is what we want. And the remainder of the meshes are ignoring it too. So the zombie can go right through, these barricades, no problem. Now, one thing I want to do, and that would be in general. So for example, let's say we select the base here, the sandbags. They actually don't have collision on the meshes. I never tried to regenerate it or anything. So for example, if we look and show collision, there's nothing. But we already have a volume here that is perfect for blocking the nav mesh because it's set to block the pawn. So it'll automatically block the corresponding nav mesh. So we go back to our blueprint editor, go back to BP barricade. Let's select the box block all players and search for nav. And previously we turned off can ever affect navigation. Let's turn it back on, compile, save, and look at it. So now you can see there's a break in the nav mesh on each of these barricades, including the ones at the window. So that is good. So let's just make sure the rest of them are fine, which it looks like they are. So next up, we want to correct the actual, blockout window. So let's select that one and this one. As you can see, the zombies are able to still walk through that that portion. Again, search for nav and enable can never affect navigation. So now they are completely blocked from, the outside and inside, like so. So let's go ahead and save. Now, we need a way to test the corresponding barricades to make sure everything is actually functioning as we want and do any tweaks as needed. So let's go ahead and duplicate one of our zombie spawns. And we want to make it to where it has no linked barricades except for one, which will be whichever one we are testing. So we're going to do this one. Next up, let's select all of our main room spawns here. So that way we can set the corresponding linked debris to be the main door. So that'll just simply disable those spawns until we buy this main door. So it's a way to temporarily, disable the spawn point. So now let's go ahead and go back to our barricade really quick. Go to begin play and plug it back in and set the delay to something really small. So it just goes ahead and, breaks all the barricades by default. So now we can test. So when we hit play, all the barricades are gone, and we can see the zombie trying to do stuff. So you can see there's a finicky result, and how in the world? Is there a gap here or something? Yeah, I think there's, okay, that works. Basically what's going on is they're going through and trying to find their way back inside, even though they were just inside. So what's happening is I don't know if it's the path following component that handles it, I'm assuming. Oh, maybe. But whatever's handling the navigation, it still thinks they're on, this plane out here, this big old nav mesh chunk, when in reality, we need them to be on this one. And part of that is due to the AI logic itself. So if we head over to our state tree, let's go to our zombies, go to an attack barricade, and just look at the logic. So when they enter the barricade, like they're getting ready, they have a go to barricade enter position state. This is just a simple move to, and all it does is move them, somewhere in front of here. Then there's a delay. Well, sorry, not a delay. Once they've finished moving, they go to this enter barricade state. This enter barricade state has a simple delay, and once that delay has, finished, we have a on state complete tree succeeded transition, which means this state, this entire state tree is done. It's good to go. So we go from go to an attack barricade down to find an attack player because this is now complete. The issue is primarily in the way we're doing this delay. So for example, let's set the delay to, we'll do 3. So 3 seconds and press play. So now they're going to vault over. They're going to wait 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, something like that. And then you can see the path is now correct. They're no longer doing that weirdness of trying to, correct their path. And that's just due to once they go back to this corresponding, find an attack player, what happens is they find a closest, whatever closest player there is, and they move to it. So they're creating a new move to basically task, so to speak, on the zombie. So what we want to do is we want to completely delete this delay. We do not need it, so let's remove it. Next up, the transition. Get rid of it as well. We're going to use an event. So we're going to put an event on the root here, and that event is going to be triggered by the zombie enter barricade gameplay ability. So what we want to do is this here performs the vault montage. And once the vault montage has completed, so, it hits down here, what we want to do is we want to send send a state tree event that our root state is listening for that will simply tell us, hey, we have entered the barricade, we've finished our vault, we are good to go. Let's complete this whole barricade tree entirely. That's what we're doing. So in here, what we want to do is go ahead and get our AI controller, and we want to get our we want to do a get component, and we want to get the state tree AI component. Once we have that, we want to send an event. So send state tree event, and that's kind of about it. So let's plug that into on complete and end ability. So let's go ahead and split this event. And we need a tag. We don't really have anything regarding a payload, so it doesn't matter, but we need to make a tag. So let's go to our project settings, gameplay tags, So we have our, held actor tags, impact tags, etc. Let's go ahead and add some additional tags in Blueprint. So let's duplicate one of these and just do a state tree event tags. So we can open that up, delete all of these, and add a new one. So I want this to follow basically our existing tag setup. So if we look here, we have our state tree dot event dot name of the event. So let's add a state tree dot event dot name of the event, which in our case is vault complete. So let's save that. Back in our project settings, let's add another entry to the gameplay tag table list and add our state tree event tags. So now for the event tag, we want the state tree event vault complete. Compile save, and let's add that transition to our root state. So let's add an event, and we're going to do the trigger being on event with the transition because we want it to complete this entire tree to be tree succeeded. Now let's go to our required event and just add that tag. So state tree dot event dot vault complete. So now press play and we can start testing all the barricades. So that one's good to go, good to go, good to go, so on and so forth. Now, in addition to this, we can also leave that as on complete and do on blended out. So when we start to blend out, we can likely get a slightly smoother result where the zombie's not just standing. I'm not 100% sure though, but let's just kind of see. And you can see it just kind of flows a little bit more, but do with it what you will. So for now, I'm going to leave it in the on completed. And that's it. So now we just want to go through and test the remaining barricades. So we can try this one. So we just got to change the one that it's using. And basically, if you want to click off this video, you're probably fine to, because I'm just going to be going through and testing. So that one's good. Let's go ahead and head over here. And good there. I am pressing all the wrong gizmos. All right, I forgot to change that one. And I'm mostly curious about the walls as well. So that one's good there, it seems. Yep. And now let's test our first, well, not a wall, but our window barricade. And I forgot to set it. Okay, so that seems to be working on our window as well. Now let's just check some of the others. So let's move them up. We'll do this guy here. Okay, vault seems good. Now let's try the one beside it. And this one's quite narrow, but I'm hoping it'll be fine. And good to go there. So lastly is going to be these outside ones here, because we have two of them, and then we just have the two beneath it. All right, so that one seems fine as well. Let's try this one just to make sure. I'm being cautious more than anything. Okay, that one seems fine as well. Now let's try the last two. And I'm just going to add a second entry. So we should be able to see both of them in action. So this guy's going here. Good to go. Good to go. And good to go. Okay. So now we can just delete that spawner, and we want to undo these here where we set the main door, because we know that our entry setup is now good to go. So delete main door, save, and that'll be all. So I'll see you in the next one. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description below, where you can also get early access to this entire series.